Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we have a short time trial. There's going to be plenty of red graph. So what's interesting about this time trial is that it actually marks the 200th hour I've spent on Zwift. So it's a good place to sort of do a little update on my fitness so far. So yeah, 200 hours of cycling on Zwift. It doesn't sound like too much. As I always talk to the YouTube chat or the live stream chat, I only do about 5 to 6 hours a week, so I've built up 200 hours of Zwift time. Most of that is in racing, as you guys know. I think I've spent about 5,600 kilometers worth of racing, and I've only done about 6,000 kilometers in total.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can do the maths
William.
on that. I do a lot of racing, but yeah, for this one I really wanted to test myself as hard as possible. Now going into this, I didn't realise that it was going to be 3 climbs. I thought it was just going to be 2, so I kind of underestimated how much power I'd have to put out. I was sort of thinking, oh, I'll just go up the climbs at 4.5 watts per kilo and that'll be, hunky-dory power PB. And then yeah, the live stream chat informed me pretty quickly that actually I'm going to be going up and down a climb 3 times, so I had to adjust my strategy a bit. But as you guys know,
No, I'm alright.
strategy's all well and good until the fatigue sets in and you just have to turn the pedals.
The sweet sound
because
of the
sport is not that complicated, it turns out. You just got to push the pedals down and grind it out and hope that your lungs don't stop working. That seems to be what I do. So yeah, at this point in the race, I'm basically trying to get to the bottom of the hill, holding FTP, not keeping the heart rate under pretty much control. But you don't have too much time to get comfortable because we're a minute and 23 seconds in and the climb is oncoming. So I sort of had planned to hold 4.5 watts per kilo, but as you can see on the right hand side, I kind of give it the beans straight away really, which is probably not the best thing to do, but what can I say, I'm a YouTuber, I do it for the content and I like pushing myself. So yeah, and I'm on the TT bike. Some guys in the live stream suggested the TT bike would be quicker. I definitely think they were right, because at the end you'll see I was flying past guys, which made a big difference to me time-wise. So on this first climb, Skur Summit North, I managed a time of 3 minutes 54 at an average speed of 24.1 kilometers an hour. That kind of information is not that important, but I targeted 350 watts and I actually did 348, so not bad pacing strategy for me. 348 watts is still 4.7 watts per kilo, which I think is pretty impressive, and my heart rate, again, pretty standard, 166 beats, so well within myself there. A big advantage that I have over many other Zwifters is that I have the live stream that are constantly giving me advice and pushing me forward and being super helpful. You can see it on the left there. Some of the advice that I was given was to ramp up the power on the steeper sections and then sort of come off a bit on the flatter sections. So right here I'm holding 4.5 pretty steady, and then this is one of the steepest sections in the climb, and I get out the saddle, put some power down, and sort of it does shoot you up this little kicker. I should have kept the power down all the way over the top really, but you can still see I'm doing 6.5 watts per kilo, and then yeah, back off on this little downslope just to try and get some respite in where you can. I'm sure you guys have done this climb tons because the Scotland map is amazing and I'm really enjoying it, so I hope you guys are as well. But this last half of the climb, I'd definitely try and do a positive split, so leave a little bit in the tank because this last bit gets steeper and it is a lot more of a grind because it's gravel and yeah, it is hard stuff. So yeah, you can see I'm still holding 4.5 watts per kilo, and people kept saying that there's a carrot being dangled in front of me, which is this guy in front of me. So I've got 6 seconds on him right now, and the beautiful thing about Zwift time trials is you have those people to just sort of keep trying to overtake, and it keeps pushing you on. It's complete opposite from a normal race where you see someone in front of you and you almost like back off and just try and stay behind them and draft. In time trials you got to keep pushing, which is why it's a really good opportunity to get a power PB. So yeah, this is again another really key part of the climb because you're so close to the end now. you get that sort of extra boost of energy. So I'm up to 5 watts per kilo in some sections, which is definitely going to help on this gravel section. And yeah, I'm really keeping my eye on the guy in front of me. I wanted to do well in this race. I had a lot of support in the chat, so I'll go above and beyond, definitely. But yeah, I don't know how else to describe the feeling at this point when, you know, your heart rate is super high. You don't know if you're going to make it. You don't know if you're going to blow up. You know, I'm at 173 beats per minute, which isn't crazy for me. I'd say that's still well within myself. But at this point, you know, I've been in red for so long. I mean, look at that chart at the bottom. You know, no recovery at all. Straight into it, straight up the hill. And now we're on the tarmac. I can really take advantage of the time trial bike and try and reel in some extra positions on the downhill. And yeah, it's really important that on that finish line you don't like stop, because it's still a slight gradient there, so you can lose quite a lot of pace coming over the top of that climb. So still putting the power down, still in the red, which I think helps me sort of, you know, pick up speed a lot quicker. I think people sort of, if you don't judge that effort properly, you can sort of go straight into zone 1 over the top and then lose a lot of speed down the hill. But yeah, I think if I wanted to do this again, I'd definitely keep pushing down this hill. I don't know, let me know in the comment section, would you guys keep pedaling hard here, or do you sort of take this as a nice breather? I mean, you can't go VO2 max for, you know, the whole 15 minutes. That would be bonkers. The whole sort of like mental battle in this time trial is a really fascinating thing to me, because I've not done this before. This is the first time trial I've ever done, and I'm definitely going to do another one. It's really a mental game. You know, you're not relying on the pack to sort of, you know, it's just completely different. It's you versus you. It's how much power can you put out for how long, and the only sort of factor in that is you. And it's completely different from normal racing, where if the group is slow, you're chilling, you know, you're taking advantage of that. You don't have that here. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys give this a go. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. And obviously I've said before, time trialing is probably going to be one of the things that I do in the summer in real life. So I'm setting up a GoPro soon, and I'll be able to get some in real life time trial footage. So this was a nice little sort of way to wet my feet in this sort of arena, because it's definitely a different type of effort. I mean, I don't think I'll be time trialing as hard as this in real life, because that would be a bit dangerous. As you can see at the end, I'll probably fall off my bike or something silly I'll do. Okay, so as we're approaching the second climb, this is a much shorter climb. My live stream chat was reassuring me that this one is not too bad, but the guys ahead of me are slowing up. So I've got 2 people ahead of me now, 2 little carrots. 1 second out for one guy, I think he's given up, and 4 seconds now. I'd still try to play this quite conservatively. As you can see, I'm not even in red, I'm sort of in orange, and I'm still gaining on these guys. Maybe I could have pushed harder here. My heart rate's not out of control at 170. You know, I didn't do this race completely perfectly, but you can't draft in this, can you? So it doesn't really make a difference if you go past these people, but for mentally it makes a huge difference. And the time trial bike definitely helped as well, because I think some of these guys maybe weren't using a time trial bike, which obviously makes a massive difference on these shallower gradients. And again, still using the same tactic. When it kicks up to 6%, I'm kicking the power up to 350, 340 watts. And then when it's flat, I'm backing off, just trying to get in some micro recovery, if that's a thing. But yeah, the heart rate is starting to climb now, 174. The pain is setting in, and we've still got to go up the main climb one more time. So at this point, doubts are really sort of like coming into your mind, and you've got to really overcome them and sort of like push them away. Read some nice comments in the chat. That's one of the things that I can do. You know, obviously normal Zwifters probably can't do that, but I can do that. And yeah, we overtake another one. So that's is that second or third victim, Mr. Blair. And we won't be seeing him again. And then now I've got my eyes on Kuba. So he's 5 seconds away, and that's my next target. But yeah, this climb is, again, a real sort of like time saver. If you coast down here, you will get caught by other people, and I'm pretty sure Blair actually does catch me, so I shouldn't say goodbye too soon. But because of the gravel, you really have to keep putting the power down. I mean, as you can see, I have backed off, but I'm still spinning because you will lose a lot of speed if you don't. And obviously this is a time trial where speed is everything.
It's hard work.
I think when I did this course for, was it the Zwift? No, it wasn't the ZRL. It was like the Race Scotland. I got dropped on the descent, so now I'm super, not nervous, but I'm super wary that as the weight's coming down, I need to put more effort in on the downhill. Like, I mean, we see guys like Ed Laverack, he's doing massive efforts on the downhill just to keep his speed up for the heavier riders. Yeah, and you can see some people coming up the other way are going into the orange already on the climb, which is bonkers. That's not my kind of tactic. I like to keep it nice and steady rather than having like peaks and troughs in the power curve. I mean, if you look at the bottom, my power curve's I'd say it's pretty. I mean, nice blocks. If you weren't looking at race footage, you'd probably think that was a workout. I mean, that second climb is not ideal. In that second climb, I think I averaged, what was it? 333 watts, which isn't crazy. Did it in 2 minutes 1. So at 333, that's a lot less than the 348 watts that I did for 4 minutes on the first go up the main climb. And then this second climb, I managed to do even better than the first time, which is, I don't know if that's that common really. So the second time up the main climb, it was actually my third ever best attempt, which isn't crazy. I mean, obviously in races you're pushing a lot harder, but I managed to average 357 watts and did it in a time of 3 minutes 51. So I knocked off 3 seconds the second time up this main climb, which I think's pretty good. I mean, obviously I'm more tired, I've got more fatigue in the legs, but I still managed to sort of grind it out. So from a mentality perspective, that's quite strong. So yeah, 357 watts for 3 minutes 51 at an average of 4.8 watts per kilo. And most of that comes in the second half, where I said before that the climb just gets super steep and tough. But yeah, here I'm just keeping focused on trying to take down as many of these people. So yeah, Blair is still in front of me, and he actually did really well in this, so well done to you if you're watching this video. I saw your time, was very competitive, well done. But yeah, go past these two guys, and now I'm setting my eyes on, I think his name's Hepner or Harper or something like that.
Go for it, Will.
Am I wrong? I can't see it just yet. Harper. See, I knew it. He made such an impression. I remembered his name days later. But yeah, out the saddle every now and then. I think that's something that I could also do better next time, is to obviously in real life time trialing you're in a very specific position, but on Zwift you can mix up your position, change your cadence, and that sort of like gives the legs maybe a bit of more freshness. That's something that I probably could have done, but because it's such a short time trial, I mean, I was hoping to get sub 15 minutes. I won't give you any spoilers. So it's a short amount of time for the body to adjust to different muscle groups from different positions and stuff. So I basically just stayed seated and, for most of it, grinded it out at 100 plus RPM, I think. But yeah, here you can really see that if you dig deep on that steep bit, you can get a lot of speed. And I've already got a 2 second gap on the guy that I just passed on that hill, which is obviously in a race, massive. In a time trial, not that important. Okay, so as we start to approach the final couple of switchbacks, the pain is definitely setting in. I mean, my heart rate seems quite suppressed at 168, but I am definitely feeling it. I mean, the look on my face, at this point I'm not looking at the YouTube live stream chat. I can't read it. I'm laser focused on the Harper in front of me. I'm definitely catching him. I've set my goal, 15 minutes. And yeah, at this point the blinkers go on, and we'll see a solid block of red in the bottom right corner there, starting to emerge. And I think it's just important to sort of reflect on this kind of race. I had quite a euphoric feeling from this race. I mean, it was such a great environment in the live stream, and it sort of made me think of how far I've come on the bike. And this race sort of really stands out because obviously I said at the start of the video, I've been cycling on Zwift for 200 hours now, and I remember when I started and I was a DCAT. I know there's loads of you guys out there that watch my videos that are in DCAT, and you might watch this and think, that's impossible. I'll never be able to do that. I've managed to get here, training between 5 and 8 hours a week, consistently for about 6 months. I mean, I've been Zwifting a lot longer than that, but I've had real consistency for only about 6 months. And I just wanted to let you guys know that it's definitely possible, and you can definitely get your fitness to a level that you can be proud of. You just got to keep with it and keep enjoying the process. But yeah, so close to catching Harper on the line here, but he manages to stay away. So hats off to you, mate. You were an amazing carrot for me during this race. And yeah, we'll have a look at the results on Zwift Power.
I've got nothing left.
Okay, I lied. Before we look at the Zwift Power results, I just wanted to explain why I'm breathing like that, because I just realised how weird that looks. But at the time, I genuinely felt like I had no air in my lungs, and every time I was breathing, it was like almost painful because my lungs weren't like fully opening. That's what they felt like. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that on the bike, but yeah, every time I breathed, I could feel the air like rush down into my lungs. Weird feeling, but
thanks, guys.
Hey ho, we'll move on.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Will.
Power results.
Nick, Jesse.
You can see that we were close to the infamous top 3 or the podium. We came 5th in our first time trial, which I'm super proud of.
Wow, look at that.
There's plenty of work to do to get into that top 3. What was interesting is that power-wise, I was right up there. Maybe it's just where I used that power. I mean, raw watt-wise, some guys were sort of bigger than me. The guy in 4th,
I wasn't
the guy
quite
in
a
3rd,
5-minute PB.
and then obviously Jonas, who's an absolute beast, who won it. They had more sort of raw watts than I did, but I'm right up there with the watts per kilogram, so I'm proud of that. And yeah, as I said before, it wasn't a 5-minute PB, but it was a 15-minute effort, and it was definitely a 15-minute PB, I'd say.
Look at that bad boy. I think I did a pretty good positive split on all of those climbs. Probably should have sped up in between. That is brutal. 400 calories burned in 16 minutes.
If you enjoyed the video today, guys, I'd appreciate a big thumbs up. It helps the channel loads. And if you want to go above and beyond and support me by buying me a coffee, the link is down in the description as always. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your
2 days in a row. Oh no, sorry. That was Monday, wasn't it? 5-minute PB on Monday, 5-minute PB Wednesday. We'll take it. Mick, you came second, mate. According to this, unless it's not updated. I'm 5th, there I am. Why does it say I'm a senior? What does senior mean? Is that just normal? Everyone's over 50 apparently. Let's compare me and Jonas. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, Jonas is almost an A. So am I a senior now? Because I'm 23. That's unfortunate. Where's Jonas? There he is. Let's compare our power. Let's chuck Mick in there as well for a giggle. So watts wise, I'm just way below, which is brilliant. That's what you want to see. It's these spindly little legs, boys. I can't put out any more watts than that. Senior is just adult. Yeah, I just realised that. I'm just used to being a junior. Well, pretty 3 good-looking graphs. We all kicked it up at the end there. Is that normal for time trialing to have that little dip and then get faster at 13 minutes than you were at 10.